Welcome! You're listening to the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast, creatively engineered by Nicole, the inspiration specialist. I'm Wired to Inspire is a powerfully packed 5-minute podcast filled with inspiration and encouragement to get you through your day. It's designed to inspire you to live your authentic purpose. Now stay tuned for your host, Nicole, the inspiration specialist, on today's episode of I'm Wired to Inspire.
Hey everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today on my podcast. Guys, I just want to say, happy Tuesday to you. I hope that you are doing well this morning, and if you are not, hopefully by the time the end of these next few minutes is over, you will be feeling a little bit better. I just feel like talking to you guys today about taking what you have and maximizing it. Now, I don't know who this is for, but you are sitting on a gold mine. As long as your brain is functioning properly, as long as you are consistently having thoughts, as long as you are breathing, as long as you know how to operate as a functioning human being, there is something on the inside of you that you can do to amass a fortune if you so desire. Now, it's interesting because you would say, well, yeah, Robin, there's all these people in the world. How come nobody's really doing it? It's only a small amount of people. Well, we know it's because it's not just the idea of it. It's actually the action that goes along with the idea and complete execution. But today, my job is not to get you all the way to execution. And my job is not to get you to take action. My job today, I'm simply a seed planter. I'm not responsible for your harvest, and I'm not responsible for you watering the harvest. But today, my responsibility is to plant the seed so that you can begin to prepare for the harvest. So with that being said, I want to speak to the person right now who is sitting on that $1 million idea, or you think it's an idea. And, maybe you haven't said anything to anybody because maybe you think it's not so good. Maybe you think it's just all in your head. I'm speaking to the person who had a great idea and then they went ahead and told somebody, and the person tried to make them think that their idea wasn't good enough. I'm also talking to the person who looks at all of these other big corporations and all of these big old institutions and all of these things that just seem so incredible and so amazing, and you really have to be a part of it when you're not really thinking about the fact that they had to start at nothing too. So how come you can't have the next big incredible hotel? How come you can't have the next big sport or arena or something that is so amazing? How come you can't have the next clothing line, the next mall, the next skyscraper, the next movement, right? So today I'm just planting the seed for you to remind you that all of the things that you are enamored with, all of the things you believe in, the brands you study, the people you say, oh my God, this is a $50 million brand, $50 billion brand. You're looking at Amazon. How come you can't create your own thing? Everybody had to start with something. We can study people. We can talk about people. Y'all see, I do mentor from afar all the time, every Friday. But y'all, at the same time, they simply mentor me. But that's what they're there for. I have to do the rest, and I have to take the ideas and things that I believe in and that I trust God has put in me to see those things come to pass. So I want to encourage you today. If you are on your way to work and you're listening to me and you're frustrated and you don't want to go, I encourage you, when you have some time to be autonomous in your thoughts and you can come up with your own ideas and you can take a couple of minutes to work on things for yourself, I want you to write out your ideas. And you're like, I've already written out my ideas. Okay, well, what do? Google the process of planting something. Okay, the seed has been planted. So now that I'm planting the seed, then you need to go get some water. So the water might be, okay, wait, when Robin said, you know what? You may have an idea. I do have an idea to bake cakes. I want to do a bakery. Okay, so go get the water. If you don't know where to start, I always tell you Google is your friend. YouTube is your bestie. Okay, all of those things, all of those platforms are there for you to learn and gain information. For some people, it makes them lazy. For other people, it makes them go harder. For me, I use it as a blessing and not as a curse. It's a gift to me. So it's a gift that I open as a present that I use presently to help me get to the goals that I have in my future. So that's what I would suggest for you. Go and find the water. Because once the seed is planted today, now you need to do the water. The harvest is going to come later, but the harvest won't come without the water. So when you finish today listening to this, you have to go and get the water. There's no option after that other than getting the water. You have to begin to consistently water it. So maybe you have to take some courses or some classes. Maybe you just have to go through everything you've already accumulated. Maybe you have to go and just get the ingredients and bake a cake and go and have somebody taste it. Then have them post that it tasted good and they want to get another one. Whatever it is that God is leading you to do, now is the time for you to do it. Because this is what it's all about in this season and in this hour. God is going to connect people. God is going to bring people together. And most importantly, he's looking to see what you're going to do with what he gave you. He's not looking to see you looking at somebody else and what they're doing. Another thing, do not compare yourself to other people. This is the kiss of death. I see too many people doing it. And let me tell you why. You could be looking at somebody highfalutin, looking all great and awesome and doing this and doing that, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. People only let you see what they want you to see. So you got to be true and you have to stick to your story, because it's your story, your truth that's going to be the game changer for everyone else that's looking at you. It's going to be your truth. It's not going to be your fallacy. It's not going to be the thing that you've created and that you've co-conspired with whatever you were thinking of to create. It's going to be the thing that you do from a pure place that's going to sustain you. It's not going to be that other stuff. Now, to God be the glory, we can see other people and we get encouragement and we see other people living their dreams and doing the things that they're called to do. But now it's time for you to do what you're called to do. I know that some of you are in a season and a time in your life where you have to make sacrifices and you have to sacrifice certain things. I just talked to a young lady who had to quit her job so she can take care of her mom and she wants to live her dreams. God is going to bless her because she's doing what God is telling her to do. And let me tell y'all, sometimes you have to pivot. You could have your little program and have your little idea what you think it is. And God may make you pivot, do a little back shuffle, spin that thing around, genuflect, pop up, and boom. Genuflect is what we used to have to do when we were in church. We used to have to bow down and bend and make the sign of the cross. And that just kind of popped up when I said genuflect. But what I was meaning by genuflect was sometimes you just have to bow down to God and say, Lord, whatever your will be done. And really not sometimes, all the time. We just don't all the time. So we have to bow down and say, God, what it is that you want for us to do. Let us operate in excellence in the way in which you've called us to operate in excellence. And that's what you need to put your focus on. So today I urge you, as the seed planter, I urge you as the waterer to put your focus on the harvester. Because God is going to make sure that you receive your harvest. But I don't want you to be afraid and I don't want you to keep comparing. And just because somebody else writing a song, well, you don't want to do a song because everybody's doing it. I don't want to bake a cake because everybody's baking a cake. If God is telling you to do it, then you do it. It don't matter what they're doing. There's no contest. It's great to have healthy competition. But every day when you get up, you need to be looking at yourself for that. You don't need to be comparing your body to nobody. You don't need to be exposing all your business because you're trying to get tea, because you're comparing other people. You don't need to be overly concerned and inundated with other people's thoughts and what their minds are saying. You don't need to have no business in that. Your entire focus needs to be on exactly what it is that God is telling you to do for you so that you can excel and that you can go to the level that he's calling you to. Because trust me when I tell you, I read something yesterday from Doug Addison and I posted it on my business page. God is connecting people. He's sending you divine connections. But let me tell you who he's connecting. He's connecting people who already working on something. You might be at your lowest. You might not have a lot of money. You might be staying with your parents. You might be homeless. You might be staying in your car. You might be living somewhere and can barely pay your rent. You might be going from check to check. You might not have no checks to go from check to check to. You might be in the worst possible space you've ever been in your life. Your health might be failing. You might feel the only thing that you do have is your mind because everything else is going. I don't know what situation you're in, but you needed to hear this today just so that I could get you all the way together and let you know this is temporary. Nothing lasts always. Nothing. So just know something. If you are hearing this right now in this divine moment and divine hour in time, then God is trying to let you know you're on the right path. It may not make sense to you right now, but don't worry if you don't have that job that you had making all that money. Don't worry if you're transitioning, because you have to transition to get to the next. This is just the way life is. You're not exempt from that. So stop being so hard on yourself for something that you have to do. Not because it's something that you're trying to force yourself to do, but it's something that God is saying, I'm giving you grace to transition. I give you a transition in everything in life. You transition from the womb to the world. Don't you think that I have this thing set up for a reason? And you know what else he does? He gives you a grace period. So stop fighting God and being so angry because you don't have the money coming in and you don't have the job when he's trying to give you grace. He's trying to give you grace to sustain yourself. And you too busy fighting saying, I don't have this, I don't have that. He's like, I don't want you to have it. I'm God. Don't you think if I thought you needed that, I would give it to you? If you don't have it, you don't need it right now. Because I also say in my word, Matthew 6:33, I'm going to take care of all your needs. If I say you need it, I got it. You don't even have to ask me for it. I'm going to give it to you. Because I say you need it. But I'm also very clear now, if it's something that you want, you have to seek your happiness in me. That's in Psalm 37:4. He's very clear. There's a difference between the two. If he say you need it, he don't need your permission. He's going to go ahead and give it to you and bless you. But some of y'all are waiting on things from God and you're getting angry. But he's saying, listen, I took care of your bills and you're still mad. You want $1 million business, but listen, sweetheart, you have to seek your happiness in me. That's what you want. I'll give you what you want. But you're going to have to seek me. You're going to have to put your hope and your everything into me, and you got to do the work. You have to pray without ceasing, but also you have to put faith and works and action together. You have to pray, and that's great. I'm so glad you're coming to me, but I've also given you a physical body to handle your business. So start doing the work to go with it. So I don't know who this was for today, but I want you to be encouraged. I want you to snap out of it. I need you to get yourself all the way together mentally and know something. The same dreams, the same hopes, the same things that you've been believing God for. Figure out what part of this message sticks to you and you run with it. But know something today. I have planted the seed. You are going to water it and God will give you the harvest. I'm wired to inspire. I hope you are too.
Thanks for listening to I'm Wired to Inspire podcast at I'mWiredToInspire.com. If you enjoyed the show, spread the word and be sure to hit the 5-star rating on iTunes. For more information on this podcast and inspirational products and services, log on to the inspirationspecialist.life or I'mWiredToInspire.com. And remember to live your authentic purpose. Thanks again and see you next time.